Now I'm going to do my lesson. This lesson is entitled Across the Jordan, and the memory verse is, Have I not commanded you? Be strong and not afraid, for wherever thou goest, the Lord thy God will be with you. And that's found in Joshua 1 verse 9. The Israelites were at the border of the Jordan River. After 40 years of wandering, they were finally ready to enter into the promised land. However, 2.5 of the tribes are staying back. Half the tribe of Manasseh, the tribe of Reuben, and I believe the tribe of Gad. Moses had promised some land on the east side of the Jordan River, where there was a shorter piece of land, but it was still very fertile, and Moses had promised them that portion for their tribes. So Joshua let them leave their livestock, families, and all the other possessions there, but all the fighting men had to go and help out because this was part of the agreement Moses made with them. So half the tribe of Manasseh, the rest of the tribes, half the tribe of Manasseh and the rest of the tribes were ready to cross along with the fighting men from Gad, the other half of the tribe of Manasseh, and the tribe of Reuben. So the people were worrying about how to cross the Jordan River, though. They had sent spies who had returned from Jericho. So they had determined that with God said that they were to go there, but they couldn't cross over because the Jordan River was flooded. So Joshua asked God for help, and God told him to send the priests first into the river, and then the water would part so that the children of Israel could cross. So the next day, the people all lined up, ready to cross over in their tribes, and Joshua told them to be strong in the Lord, just like God had encouraged him in the same way. And the priest stepped into the river ahead of the company, and the waters all receded and stayed back on each side like a wall of water, like in the Red Sea. The priest stood in the middle of the river while all the people crossed. Joshua then got 12 strong men, one from each tribe, to gather a large stone from the river. And he used the stones to build an altar to God. Whenever the children for years to come saw that altar, they would ask their parents about it, and they would explain how God brought them through the river. Then the priests came out of the river, and as soon as they were on dry land, the river receded and began to flow again normally. So the Israelites were all overjoyed, just like the original Israelites were when they first crossed the Red Sea. So these people were happy to have finally been able to cross over into the River Jordan. And they were ready now, trusting in God, to enter the promised land. So we should remember that God is ready to guide us to an even better promised land, the promised land of heaven. So as Christians, by listening to God, He guides us in day-to-day life. And when He guides us, that's when we know we have Jesus inside of us and we can go to heaven. So let's pray for God's guidance today. That's the lesson for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Now I'm going to do my presentation. This presentation is going to be based off of Ecclesiastes 11. So Ecclesiastes 11 is talking about the advice Solomon was giving, and first thing he says is, cast thy bread upon the water, and for thou wilt find it after many days. And this is really talking about investment, and it says, and late in the next verse he says, put your money in 7 or 8 baskets, because you never know what will happen. So this is financial advice, but if you think about it, there's really a spiritual meaning. Like, there's a song that says, I cast my bread upon the water by helping my brother who's struggling on life's stormy sea. It's not just about financial aid. It's saying that if you give something, you'll get it back. It's kind of like a old Indian philosophy called karma. Karma is a spiritual thing for the Hindus or Buddhists, I believe, and that's not what we're talking about. But the idea that what you do comes back to you is a biblical idea, like Jesus said, actually referred to that in Mark 20, I believe, about how you are judged, how you judge others, that's how you will be judged. So the point is that by helping others, it's like giving away your money, or trying to help others by giving them your time or giving them something. It always comes back for good. No, even it's not like ever heard of where you help someone and then they come out to get you because you helped them. That's just not something that you do logically, because they helped you, so you're kind of in debt to them. And so by helping others, it's a way to show Christ as well. Christ helped others, and he's our example. We should remember that. And cast your bread upon the water is a phrase that means no matter what you do, it'll come back. If you think about it, if you make clean bread, it's gonna stay clean bread. If you make dirty bread, it's gonna stay dirty bread. That's not the best example though. If you bake a cake with oil, it'll become moist and it'll stay moist. But if you forget the oil, then it's not going to come back as oily and moist. Oil's important, and if you forget to add it in, there's no fixing it once it's baked, once it's done. But likewise, if you put the oil in, there's no taking it out, but you don't want to take it out, but still there's no taking it out. So the idea is that whatever you do, whether it be good or bad, it'll return. And Jesus wants us to know this. He showed Solomon this because he wants us to know that helping others is a way that we can represent him, and that by helping others we can, not only does it benefit us to some degree, it also spreads Christ's love and message. So that's my presentation for this week. See you all next week, but until then, bye.